In this video, I interview Steve from Dottotech, and he shares why there are a lot less graybeards on YouTube and whose fault that is, his tips for growing your YouTube channel, and his 4 pillars for making money on YouTube. Coming up. YouTube Secrets is out now. Learn the strategies of today's top video influencers in this step-by-step YouTube success playbook. Get your copy today at tubesecretsbook.com. Hey, what's up? Sean here with Video Influencers, helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. And I'm pumped to be standing with Steve from Dottotech. How's it going?
Great. On Video Influencers, a dream come true.
I love it. We're here at Video Marketing World in Dallas, and we're going to be talking about tips for growing your YouTube channel, making more money on YouTube, but also, is YouTube relevant for baby boomers and people of all generations? But before we dive into that, for those that are just meeting you, what are you up to, and what was kind of your story getting into this?
Oh, quick story background is for 20 years I was in traditional media in Canada, TV show, radio show, newspaper, all the traditional medias. Of course, they're nearly dead. So in 2010, I started to shift over into the online space, dabbled around a lot, finally settled on becoming a YouTube content creator, haven't looked back since.
I love that. And what's your channel about, and how has it grown? What size is it at?
My channel kind of has 2 focuses. The main focus is productivity and how-to, which is what my TV show is about, teaching people how to use technology and how it fits in their life. So that's kind of my old story kind of being recreated. But increasingly, I'm passionate about talking to my generation, baby boomers, Gen Xers, people who are a little bit older, and making sure that we find our place, not just in YouTube, but in social media. So kind of being a baby boomer with a digital lifestyle. What is that all about? And encouraging more of my colleagues to kind of come to the table and bring our experience and influence into the online space.
I love that. And so let's talk about it. You know, one of the big misconceptions, and even in the influencers community, sometimes people feel if they're a baby boomer, they're like, oh, YouTube is just for young people, or there's not space for us here. What would you say to that?
And that's crap. It's total crap, because the bottom line is, when you look at the volume of people, you look at how many people are on YouTube, baby boomers are as relevant a group as any. In fact, more relevant in some ways when you think about disposable income. That's still there. So they're still a very valuable group. But because they haven't seemed to step forward with their voice on YouTube, try and find baby boomer vloggers on YouTube, and there's a real dearth. And the ones that are there, frankly, sorry folks, not doing that great a job. So we're just not there in the space. We're watching, we're consuming the video, we're comfortable with that, but we aren't inserting ourselves into the market space. But as far as I'm concerned, it's as vibrant and as good a marketplace as any other. It's not the sweetheart. You kind of feel a little marginalized. YouTube gets excited about millennials and all different other types, so they seem to ignore the baby boomers and Gen X. But I think, bottom line is people are watching our videos. If we're making money, if we feel we're having an impact on our community, what do we care what YouTube thinks?
That's so powerful. And maybe the numbers with YouTube just announcing there's now 1.9 billion active users with Gmail accounts logged in, maybe large clusters of those numbers are younger and millennial. But with numbers like that, we're talking about millions and millions of people that are 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus.
Nobody can ever reach their maximum audience. I mean, it's just impossible. It's just too vast a pool out there. So, I always, when people talk about numbers, we often compare numbers a little bit, but I always think we all have the same number. 1, our community. And it's whatever size it is, but that's the community. It's our community.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what the real number is. What matters is that we treat it as though it's everything to us, and it is.
I love that. Now, what are some tips specifically for baby boomers? They're like, okay, I'm hearing you. I'm kind of on the fence, but I don't know how to get started. There's some mindsets maybe. What are the first couple things you would say, look, you need to push the button, press record, and get started, but some of the things you would coach people?
Don't compare yourselves to others. When I started doing the vlog, after years and years on television, I'm comfortable on camera, I've got all of that. When I decided to start putting my personality in and not just be about the technology, I started watching your content or Casey's or Peter McKinnon, and I started watching all this content, and I went, oh my God, I can't do that stuff. And I was intimidated. And I realized, well, you got to let the singers sing and the dancers dance. You might not have the massive amount of energy and the pace of a millennial, or the video creation capabilities of a Casey Neistat or a Peter McKinnon, but storytellers can tell stories, and baby boomers could be good storytellers. We've got experience, we've got things to share, so you have to recognize what your value is and bring that, and be confident that your community. trust your community as much as you let people trust you. You know, I'm sure you've coached a lot of people on presenting and say, don't worry about making a mistake. Nobody out there judges you for a mistake. You're the only one that judges you for a mistake, yet people still judge themselves for mistakes.
Yes.
Take that give yourself the same grace as you give others when you start to create your content. Let your community guide you and grow with you, and look at it as a journey and not a finished product. But if you judge yourself and your product against others, that will stop you every time.
Yeah. You know, would you agree with this too, that, you know, people are all different and people like to learn from different people as well. So for instance, I mean, I teach tech as well. Obviously we cover different things, but some people might be like, man, that guy talks too fast, or I don't like his style, and they might resonate with you. Or maybe they want to resonate with a female, or they want to, we all love learning from different people. So even if sometimes it feels like a niche is crowded, would you say that encouraging people to bring their unique style, because there is an audience that can resonate with different personality types, ages, backgrounds?
Yeah, people don't follow you because of the content you create. Because what you show and I show and everybody shows, there's a million people showing that content. They want to see the technology. They want to see the information through your lens. Because what they do is they develop a relationship with you. They learn your cadence and your perspective and your value system, and then they, when you explain something to them, they have all of that context, which allows them to understand the product that much better. So even a crowded niche, there's no such thing as a crowded niche.
Sure.
You know, at the end of the day.
I love that. I love that. Now, let's get into some tactical tips for anybody, any age. Why has your channel grown? What are some of the factors you've noticed that you've been doing things strategically, or how much you're uploading, that has led to your channel growing?
Okay, the mechanical pieces of consistently producing good quality content and being trustworthy as far as, you know, regularly publishing, all of that is there. I think there's an attitude thing that we can take to the channel that makes a big difference. If your community knows that you respect them, I believe that that's a huge benefit. And something that I've done since day one, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do forever, but something that I've done since day one is I've read every single comment posted in YouTube comments, and while I don't get a chance to respond to everyone, I over-click on that little like icon. I use that all the time so that people know that I've read it, and I comment on them as much as I can, but I let them know that I'm hearing what they're saying. I think that over time really binds your community to you, because if you show the respect back to them and you make them recognize that they're number one in your life, not the content that you're creating or the money that you're earning, I think that's what we need. Because I don't look at it as an audience, I look at it as community. And so that would be my first tip, is respect your audience.
I love that. Now here at the conference, you're going to be sharing about why webinars are one of the best ways to be doing live streaming. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think that we always get passionate about the newest and latest technology, and YouTube Live and Facebook Live has really captured everybody's imagination. You do a great job on yours. I see you prepare for yours, though, much like it's a webinar. You have slides, you incorporate other things, so you don't too many people treat live streaming as, oh, I'm bored now. I think I'll see what, entertain me, Facebook community, and tell me how wonderful I am with all sorts of likes.
That's a good
point.
point.
They're not really delivering value. Secondly, they don't have a game plan of what that engagement is going to mean to them, so it's just kind of being thrown out there. Webinars, even though they seem a little bit staid and old school, still have the intent behind them. You know what the value of a YouTube video versus a Facebook Live is, as far as I'm concerned? The biggest value? Facebook Live is accidental, it's for discovery. YouTube is intentional. Somebody's come and searched and clicked on your video. So they are immediately more engaged in your content, and they're going to give you more gravity. They're going to pay more attention. The same issue is with webinars and live. Webinars, having to register for webinars is a pain in the rump. I get that. I understand that. And people feel a little bit of invasion of privacy by sharing their email address. But there's intent to the visit. They're coming to learn, and they're going to stay with you, and they're going to accept what you're saying a lot more readily. So even though we might lose some numbers, the people that we do get are far higher quality. Now, all of the stuff that's going on in live streaming should be incorporated into webinars. I like calling webinars a broadcast, right? I like it, looking at it and giving it the same kind of preparation as I would have done a live radio or TV show. And I bring that broadcast background of 20 years doing live broadcasts. to webinars and treat it with the same gravity. As I got to give you props. That's what you do. When I watch your stuff, you've got a script you're following, you're tight on time, you're incorporating graphics and making it an entertaining show. And sometimes things go off the rails technically. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But you don't let that bother you because you know you did the prep and you're getting the content out there, and you've always got a call to action. You've always got it. So webinars, so you treat yours like a webinar. I'm just trying to get our community to recognize that live, just getting lots of people watching it for a few minutes, it's not doing much.
You could go deeper than that. You could craft your content more than that. You could have a greater impact if you're intentional.
And look at the tools we have to broadcast with. Look at how we can roll in B-roll and add calls to action and add graphics, and we can do so much. Add other characters, bring other guests on board. You can make these things so good.
So powerful. All right, with super good content. Now we're going to jump into your monetization strategies in just a second. But before we get there, are you ready for the lightning round?
Oh, I love the lightning round.
The lightning round. What does lightning look like and sound like?
Oh, flash boom.
Flash boom. Boom. All right, here we go. Lightning round. 3, 2, 1. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
NYC or LA?
NYC.
Favorite song that always gets you dancing?
Anything by ABBA.
Sing it.
Oh, geez, I just saw the music.
Sing it.
Okay, just a minute.
Sing
what's
it.
the song? You're a hero. I don't even know if that's a song. Oh, you're asking me to dance and I got a broken leg. Can you see my broken leg?
If you could only grab one item during a zombie apocalypse, what would you grab?
The sword that the ladies got.
Yeah, that's a smart tool. Because you're going to run out of bullets sometime.
Yeah. And you're badass with the sword, even if,
Book every influencer watching should read.
Oh, Gary V's Jab, Jab, Hook.
Jab, 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 right hook.
Yeah.
Good book. We'll link that up in the description below. Favorite TV show you like to binge watch?
Game of Thrones.
Khaleesi.
Yeah. Wow, yeah.
Mother of Dragons.
I drink and I know things.
We know the phrase, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done something differently. What advice would you have given to your 21-year-old self?
Oh, 21-year-old self. Wait. Wait.
Like be patient?
Be patient. Don't rush into everything. Yeah.
I love that. Favorite movie?
Oh, Princess Bride without the end of every one of my videos, I end with the have fun storming the castle quote.
Have fun storming the castle.
Man, classic movie. I used to watch that all the time with my dad.
There's not a life situation that a Princess Bride quote is not appropriate for.
Podcast every influencer watching should listen to.
Amy Porterfield.
Yes.
Her systems and her thought process is spot on.
She's a legend.
Yeah.
No miss morning routine, something you do every morning.
Make coffee.
Preach.
Work out.
Teach. And favorite place in the whole wide world and why?
On a lake with a rainbow trout fishing.
There
because I'm there in what God gave us. It's just, there's peace.
I love that. Lightning round. Choo! Boom.
Boom.
So before we go, let's talk about how to make money on this thing called YouTube. And for any age, what kind of advice would you give as far as the possibilities of building your influence on this platform so that you could ultimately build your income? And what are your income sources?
Okay, I love this question because I believe that we're still in the nascent stages of this being a business. And I think if we were to walk around to the successful YouTubers here or video creators here, not one of us has the same revenue model.
Yeah.
And I love hearing other creators' revenue model. So my revenue model comes obviously from AdSense revenue, and I do a little bit better than average on that because my demographic skews way older than everybody else's, and it's a underserviced community on YouTube, so I get good quality ads because it's just less inventory.
And what we're talking about there is CPM.
Yes.
And so a lot of times people, they say an average in America is about $2 per 1,000 views.
Yeah.
But yours is quite a bit higher, and we
Yeah.
can't talk about that, but that speaks to the fact of your audience and the quality of your content, correct?
Absolutely, yeah, and so that's an encouraging fact. However, having said that, it's also a very tenuous revenue stream because it's like the stock market. It can go up or down, and you can also be disenfranchised from it if you mess up with YouTube, which we can sometimes do even when we're not doing anything wrong that we know of. So we have to be really cautious of that being our only revenue stream. So I build my revenue on AdSense revenue. I also have a really solid Patreon following who follows me, and I build that from my webinar following because what I do is I do a free weekly live webinar called Webinar Wednesday, which I use primarily as a list builder. And I go through the effort of creating a new tutorial webinar every week, deliver it live, replay it live for 2 days, for 48 hours, and then I pull it down from the live broadcast and I put it into an archive that's only accessible by my patrons. And so our Patreon community now has some 70 webinars that are tutorial of all aspects, that keeps growing, and it's been a really big revenue source for me. I still do some online courses. I also do a fair bit of keynote speaking, and so that's kind of where my revenue is spread amongst. I look to have 4 pillars so that I can always, if one gets pulled out from, you're still kind of standing.
That's a great advice. 4 pillars of revenue. And then you also were telling me that sometimes you do paid webinars. So you do free webinars.
Yes.
But you've done a paid webinars. So what exactly is that if somebody wanted to get started?
So sometimes when the content that I'm going to be delivering, I think, has real long-term value, and it's also a place where people can make money. I've got a philosophy: people will pay money to learn to make money. So if I'm delivering a webinar in that space, I'll make it a special webinar, turn it into a mini course, and I'll deliver that as a paid webinar. And typically, $39 to $99, not super expensive. But the cool model that I do is I take the webinar itself, deliver the main content as a webinar, people pay to come, then I take that webinar content and I put it into Thinkific. I use Thinkific as an LMS, and I take all of the questions that have come at the end of the webinar, and I make sure that I've got resources to attach to that to make it much more of a full tutorial.
Yes.
And then that goes into evergreen sales. So they watch the webinar replay, and they have additional videos that are based on the questions that I got from the community, because I think that does the best job of fleshing out what people are interested in.
Awesome. I love that tip. Well, hey, for those that want to check you out, where are you at online? What are you up to right now? And of course, we'll link those up in the description below.
Everything is at Dottotech. Dottotech.com is my website. That's where you can find me, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Dottotech.
I love that. So check those links out. Question of the day is on you. What do you want to ask the influencers community so they can respond, and they'll tell us in the comments?
My question for your community is, do you feel most comfortable watching someone delivering content from your generation or from a different generation? And do you judge my generation, a baby boomer, as being less capable technically because we are older?
Let us know in the comments section below. Well, Steve, thanks again for coming on. Final parting words, because of course the influencers community, they're trying to build their influence on YouTube, other online video platforms. And if you're trying to do this, you're an entrepreneur, and that comes with ups and downs. And you've built a great legacy, and you've done lots of different things in your career. What's just some advice for anybody of any age and any background to keep going, keep building, and really not give up on this dream?
When you're feeling discouraged, make a video.
Love that. Keep posting, keep publishing. Steve, appreciate you. Influencer, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you want to check out other videos in this interview series, click or tap the screen over there for another video from Video Influencers. Click the other video over there. Until next time, this channel is all about helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.